Today is a very auspicious day, Govardhan Puja and cow Puja, feeding cows and walking cows, and appearance day of Rasikananda, the Prabhu, personal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also one prominent disciple of Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, named Srila Bhakti Kusum Sraman Goswami Maharaj. Our Gurudev sometimes mentioned him in Harikatha, because when our Gurudev started, he was staying in Chaitanya Math first with Parangurudev. So Parangurudev engaged him to be secretary of Srila Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Goswami Maharaj before Kunja Babu. And Gurudev, he said, I was also working under Srila Bhakti Kusum Sraman Goswami Maharaj. Gurudev told, usually on Ekadashi day, he said that Sraman Maharaj told us to take very little on Ekadashi, only Anukalpa, only for survival. Should not take much. And Gurudev said, like half banana, like this. So very little. And also in relation to calendar making, this Maharaj was making Vaishnav calendar. So he told to Gurudev that we are using PM Bhakti Almanac because it was used by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and also our Gurudev means Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we are calculating based on that. And in our math also we are using now. So Srila Bhakti Kusum Sraman Maharaj, I will read about him. Not everything, something. He appeared in Dhaka district in East Bengal that time, now it is Bangladesh, on today's day, Giriraj Govardhan's Annakut Mahotsav. Since his childhood, Kanu was this was his name. This is one name of Krishna also, Kanu. Kanu was very studious both materially and spiritually. With the inspiration of his parents, he read the Srimad Bhagavatam daily as a child. Once Jogamaya Devi, that is his mother, expressed how fortunate she was to have such a pious child as her own son. After hearing that, Kanu prayed to his mother to bestow blessings upon him to become a pure Vaishnava. That blessing. He did not say, I want chocolate, I want this. No, he said, I want to become pure Vaishnava. In 1927, Kanu completed his medical degree with distinction. He was a doctor. He also got distinctions in Sanskrit and mathematics. During his medical studies, Kanu was introduced to the Gauriya Math by Srila Bhakti Vilas Parvat Goswami Maharaj and used to visit the Madhva Gauriya Math situated in Dhaka. It's a very famous Gauriya Math during the time of Prabhupada. In that same year, his parents arranged his marriage. On the day of the marriage, Kanu secretly escaped from his home. He went to Bagbazar Gauriya Math, situated in Calcutta, desiring to take initiation from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada gave him Harinam and Diksha and the name Krishna Kanti Das Brahmachari. So he did not want to enter that worldly temporary relations, but he wanted to establish his eternal relation with Krishna. He wanted Diksha from pure devotee. Thereafter, Srila Prabhupada ordered him to go to Mayapur and offer his medical services to the devotees. As a doctor of the mat, he was. Srila Prabhupada, at that time, allopathic medicines were still a bit better than nowadays, because nowadays so much pharmaceutical companies and money and oil and all these things, it is all polluted. But that time allopathic was still a bit better. Srila Prabhupada also gave him a room beside his own Bhajan Kutir. If you go Mayapur Chaitanya Mat, Bhajan Kutir of Prabhupada, if you go a little around, there you will find his Bhajan Kutir and Samadhi now. Also his deity is there, Srila Bhakti Kusum Sraman Maharaj. By nature, he never hurt anyone with his words, even when people spoke harshly to him. That is the nature of Vaishnava we are now singing. That Prati Hingsa Teji Ane Kora Vipalan. You give up this revengeful mentality. 3 never protests and never goes against anyone. So his nature was like this because devotee. He was always seen with his chanting beads, constantly chanting the holy names with a smiling face. This was observed by anyone who came into his association. Srila Prabhupada appointed Krishna Kanti Brahmachari as the publishing manager of the Dainik Nadia Prakash, that is daily spiritual magazine, to assist Pranavananda Prabhu, that is Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj later, who was the editor. Krishna Kanti Prabhu used to travel with Srila Prabhupada and serve in writing correspondence. Thus, he continued his service in expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya under Srila Prabhupada. Since the time of Srila Prabhupada's departure, Krishna Kanti Brahmachari remained fully dedicated to serving Srila Prabhupada's mission under the guidance of Srila Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Gosai Maharaj, who was the Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Mat, Mayapur, original Chaitanya Mat. He was before Kunja Babu, right-hand man of Prabhupada during his time. Our Parangurudev was also in this Chaitanya Mat, serving under Srila Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Gosai Maharaj. Our Gurudev was his secretary on the order of Parangurudev. According to the desire of Srila Tirtha Gosai Maharaj, on the day of Gaur Purnima on 14th March 1949, Krishna Kanti Brahmachari accepted the renounced order from him at Chaitanya Mat and received the name Bhakti Kusum Sraman Gosai Maharaj. In 1976, Srila Tirtha Gosai Maharaj physically disappeared. According to the united desire of all his god brothers and various disciples of Srila Tirtha Gosai Maharaj, those who were all residing in Chaitanya Mat, not only Chaitanya Mat, that is big mission. They have 32 branches. Srila Prabhupada made 64 during his time. Then, after his disappearance, then first 2 groups came, Bhagbazar Gauriya Mat and Chaitanya Mat. Then they got 32 temples and this mission got 32. But main headquarters is Chaitanya Mat, in Mayapur, where Prabhupada's Samadhi is there. So all various disciples of Sri Tirtha Maharaj, Srila Sraman Maharaj Goswami was made the Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Mat in Mayapur and its various branches. Srila Sraman Gosai Maharaj's simplicity, patience and equanimity attracted many people from different parts of India and around the world. You know, our Akinchan Prabhu, the one who was always with our Gurudev, he's disciple of Srila Sai Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Sai Maharaj. His mother, she's disciple of Srila Bhakti Kusum Sraman Gosai Maharaj. Gurudev sometimes wrote in letter to her, he's my Shiksha Guru, you will find in affectionately yours, when writing to her. took shelter of him in chanting the holy name. So people around the world also, not only Indians, Westerners also, they were coming. During his period as Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Math, Srila Sraman Goswami Maharaj published various books such as Srila Prabhupada's biography, Prem Samput, Sri Chaitanya Padesh Ratnamala, Harina Mahamantra Artha, and so on. Once, now this is very important point, once Srila Sraman Goswami Maharaj told one of his Bengali disciples to sweep the temple floor as it was very dirty. The devotee disobeyed his order, saying, I am a graduate and I am academically qualified. Did I join the temple to sweep the floor? Because in India, you know, sweeper class is like lowest job and the caste consciousness and all this. Our Gurudev also gave examples. Sometimes some brahmacharis, they came and they were ordered to cook. And they said, oh, I came from very rich family and I'm educated like this. Why you will cook? Why I will cook? Because they did not understand this is the service of Krishna. And this, he also did not understand this is service of Krishna. It has nothing to do with worldly high and low position in jobs and like this. So he misunderstood. So did I join the temple to sweep the floor? So that false ego was there. Srila Sraman Goswami Maharaj simply smiled and continued chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on his beads. Why? Because he knows he already is not accepting. So what I can do? He did not further push him. Already understood that he's not ready. 20 years later, a devotee found that same brahmachari lamenting while sweeping the floor at Howrah railway station in West Bengal. This incident teaches us that if we ignore a pure devotee's desire, then the Lord forces us into a worse condition. And also, he did not want to sweep for Krishna's service. Like our Gurudev said, if you don't want to take Krishna as your husband, you will get non-eternal husband in this world and all the suffering. So if you don't want to serve Krishna, you will have to serve Maya. So he could not remain in the mud. Ultimately, he had to do this for earning money to survive. Sweep the floor on railway station. So if you don't want to serve Krishna due to false pride, then we will be forced to serve. Our Gurudev also gave example, some brahmachari in the mat, he was told this seva, but he did not want to do anything. Then ultimately he could not remain. Then he married. Then in married life, he was doing everything what he was told to do in the mat. Cooking, going to market, cleaning, everything he was doing in home. But they are not. We say because not understanding our relation with Krishna. So he could not serve Krishna, but doing all these same things for material relations. At the age of 86, on 11 December 1986, the day of Moksha Ekadashi, Gita Jayanti, we are observing, when everyone was reading the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Sraman Goswami Maharaj physically passed away with a smiling face while chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at Chaitanya Math, Mayapur. His samadhi is in his Bhajan Kutir, adjacent to Srila Prabhupada's Bhajan Kutir at Adimat or Akara Mataraj, original Chaitanya Math, Sri Chaitanya Math. Srila Sraman Goswami Maharaj's life teaches us that in this age of hypocrisy and quarrel, we need to keep patience in order to successfully continue our spiritual practice in every aspect. So I am remembering, I'm always, when I'm going to Chaitanya Math, I go there to bow down to him. Little behind you have to go. I am remembering his samadhi and his deity forum. And bowing down to his lotus feet, praying his causeless mercy. Then today is also appearance day of Rasikananda Prabhu. Our Gurudev wrote his biography. He appeared in Midnapur district. His father and mother, they were both very pious, qualified, and he was Rasikananda Prabhu was a Manjari in Krishna Lila, but name is not given. He lived in village of, means he appeared in the village of Raini. That is also some holy place. Ramchandra Bhagavan was staying near that place. And Rasika Murari served his parents. They were very pious and very good character. He served them. Then he was also married with a devoted wife named Ichamoi Devi from village of Ghantashila. One day, while in Ghantashila, that is the place of his wife, Rasika Murari was anxious to find a spiritual master and went to a solitary place to meditate. He had just entered into a very deep trance when he heard a voice from an unseen source say, Murari, that is another one named Rasika Murari, Murari, you need be anxious no longer. Your Guru is Shyamananda, and you will meet him very shortly. Take shelter of him and your life will be successful. Upon hearing this divine message, Murari began chanting the name of Shyamananda with joyful enthusiasm. He spent the entire night crying out of eager expectation to meet his Guru until finally at the end of the night he had a dream vision of Shyamananda Prabhu who said to him, don't worry any longer, for you will meet me this very day. At dawn, Rasika Murari was on the lookout for his Guru when he saw the tall figure of Shyamananda Prabhu approaching him, as effulgent as the sun. Surrounded by disciples like Kishore Das, he was dancing in a state of absorption in divine love while chanting Ha Krishna Chaitanya, Ha Nityananda. Rasika Murari had been waiting anxiously for so long to encounter his Guru that he immediately fell down at his feet. Shyamananda Prabhu affectionately lifted him up, embraced him and drenched him with tears. Then, after giving him the Radha Krishna mantra, he offered him up to Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhus. This whole event reveals how we can find a Guru through sincere prayers. It reminded me, our Parangurudev also, he was in his student life, and during the night time he was crying to Bhagavan and calling his name. His one friend, schoolmate, told later on he saw him. So one night he got a dream. Narad Goswami gave him mantra in dream, but when he woke up, he could not remember fully the mantra. Then he was more anxious. Then he took permission of his mother and went to Himalaya. And there also, without eating, sleeping, he went up and was calling Krishna from the core of heart for 3 days. Then he got, when he was in deep trance, then he got that message. You don't worry, your Guru is there where you left, that place. Then Parangurudev came down and he met one sadhu and he told him, what happened, and that sadhu confirmed, yes, it is not fictitious, it is real, you go back. Then Parang Gurudev met Gurudev Prabhupada in Bengal, in Mayapur. So then Rasika Murari was fully surrendered to his guru, and that is why he got all his powers. And our Gurudev wrote here, the real disciple, one who is fully dedicated, he will become a good teacher himself. So he was very powerful, and he rescued so many atheists, Muslims, criminals, rich men, everyone. He rescued, he engaged them in the service of Krishna. And some people, one Muslim became envious, and he sent one mad elephant to disturb the kirtan and to devotees. Then that elephant came there, and when he came near Rasikananda Prabhu, Rasikananda's influence, spiritual influence was so much that suddenly that elephant became peaceful, because Atma is there inside. So by that influence he became peaceful, and he bowed down to Rasikananda. Then Rasikananda Prabhu lifted his ear, that big ear of elephant lifted, and initiated him in the air, chanting Mahamantra. Then that elephant became devotee, like Gajendra. Atma is there, Atma can become devotee. So then that elephant started to serve devotees. He was sent to disturb devotees, but later he served the devotees, became devotee by Rasikananda Prabhu's power. And Shyamananda Prabhu, he turned his deity seva to Rasikananda Prabhu before his disappearance. And so many rich people and kings also in that area, Orissa and that Midnapur, they became his disciples. So very powerful. Rasikananda, if you go now in Orissa and that place, still he's very famous. Everyone knows about Rasikananda. And he wrote songs also and books. And then again he met his guru when Shyamananda Prabhu came to Rishingapur after coming from Bon Vishnupur. And there they made a big festival, Rasikananda Prabhu and his followers. Then Rasikananda, one time on preaching tour, then they were near that Remuna village. Then they came to Remuna, Madhavendra Puri's place, Kirchor Gopinath, that place. There they entered that temple, and suddenly Rasikananda Prabhu entered into Gopinath deity and disappeared. That was his disappearance lila. Some they do like this. Some they perform lila like giving up body, but some they give up in this way also. They disappear. And his disciples also disappeared at that time, 6, those who were with him, no 7. And only Pushpa Samadhi is there, because no body, only that garland flower which was there, they made Samadhi there. An annual festival lasting 12 days is held in Remuna to celebrate his disappearance day. That is on the same day as our Parang Gurudev disappeared, So I still remember, I like that place very much, in Vrindavan, in Radha Shamsundar temple, established by Shyamananda Prabhu. If you go to Bhajan Kutir of Shyamananda Prabhu, there is one cave. You have to go down on the stairs. It is very narrow, everything. Then you come to that cave, and there are 2 deities there. One is Shyamananda Prabhu, another is Rasikananda Prabhu. And there is a board, keep quiet, Shyamananda Prabhu in Bhajan. I like that board. keep quiet. So I'm remembering Shamananda Prabhu and Rasikananda Prabhu. They are doing bhajan, bowing down to their lotus feet and praying for their causeless mercy, especially today on appearance day of Rasikananda Prabhu. I pray for his causeless mercy. Then, today is also Govardhan Puja. Our Gurudev wrote one article, it is in KARTIK handbook, when Prithvi Devi means Earth Devi, she prayed to Brahma that these demoniac kings, they are doing so much sins, I cannot bear that burden. She took shelter of Brahma, then Brahma with all demigods, they went to Kir Sagar, milk ocean, and they were praying. Then voice came, yes, I will appear, you don't worry. Then Krishna told to Radharani, I have to go to this world to remove the burden. So you go first. Then Radharani said, no, I will not go to that place where there is no Vrindavan, no Jamuna, no Govardhan, no trees, this. I will not go. Then Krishna ordered, okay, because Radharani is not engaged in killing demons and this. Radharani is engaged in the service of Krishna in Vrindavan. So, then Krishna told to Vrindavan Dham to descend. But Govardhan appeared in west side on Shalmali island, western India, as the son of mountain Dronachala. Gurudev said this is Vedic understanding. Behind everything, conscious principle is there. They are all persons. So, son of Drona mountain is Govardhan. And when he appeared, all other mountains, Himalaya, Sumeru, and other big mountains, they were very happy to hear about Govardhan's appearance. And they came there and they bowed down to him and were praising him and worshipping him. And they said, since Govardhan is the holy place of pastimes of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna in the transcendental sweet realm of Goloka, he is the king of all mountains and the crown of Goloka. He is like an umbrella for Parabrahman, Shri Krishna, and Vrindavan is within his lap. Since then, Govardhan has been renowned as Giriraj. Giriraj means king of mountains. Giri means mountain. Giriraj, Govardhan. At that time, he was 64 miles long, 40 miles wide, and 16 miles high. That time. Now it is long only 7 miles. Because one time Pulastya Muni, one of the rishis, very famous, you can find his biography in Puranik Charitavali, he came there and he saw Govardhan so beautiful with springs, grasses, trees, so beautiful and soothing, everything. And Dronachal mountain, he received sadhu and served him, worshipped. Then Pulastya said, I have one request. I am staying in Kashi, Varanasi. It's very sacred. Ganga is there and Shiva is there. So, but I want to take this Govardhan there. I will perform tapasya there on this Govardhan. It's so beautiful. variety of fruit and flower trees, pleasant sitting places, springs, radishes, soft grass, etc. Then Drona was in separation grief, but he was afraid that if he will not fulfill the desire of this Muni, then he may curse. So then he gave permission, and then he asked how you will take him there. Then Pulastya said, no problem, I will take him on my hand in the palm. Then Govardhan said, okay, I will go, but under one condition. If you will put me anywhere down, then I will stay there. I will not move. Then Pulastya said, yes, no problem. Directly I will go there. That is my plan. So then they went, and he was carrying on his palm. But when they were passing Vrindavan, it is on the way from western side of India towards Varanasi, you pass. Then when they were going through Vrindavan, then Govardhan saw Jamuna, Vrindavan, trees, deer, all that, and all transcendental. Then Govardhan wanted to stay there. That is his lila, how he will appear, how he will come. Then suddenly he became very heavy. And also by Govardhan's will, Pulastya Rishi forgot about his promise. Krishna, Smriti Apohanamcha, that verse, Krishna makes us remember and Krishna makes us forget also. So by his will, Pulastya forgot and he could not hold him. He became suddenly so heavy, so he put him on the ground in Vrindavan. Then Pulastya went to Jamuna and did bathing and Sandhya, mantra, dhyan, everything he was doing. Then he came back and he said, okay, Cholo, let us go now. Then Govardhan did not move. Then again and again he tried to first he told him, let us go, but Govardhan did not want to go. Then Pulastya tried to forcefully lift him, but could not lift him. Impossible. How he could carry him before? Because it was Govardhan's desire, it was his lila. Now when Govardhan wants to stay, no one can move. No rishi, no one. Then Pulastya, that is also his lila, he cursed Govardhan. Okay, you don't want to go, then I curse you. You will diminish in your size by one mustard seed every day. You will become smaller. That is the pastime of disappearance of Govardhan. That is also by his will. It is not Pulastya will. That is this lila they are making. So now Govardhan is only 7 miles long and also reducing daily. And our Gurudev told, it is in Shastra actually, when Govardhan will, until Govardhan will remain in this world and Ganga Devi, then Kali Yuga will not be able to exhibit full power, some less power. But when Govardhan will disappear and Ganga will disappear, then Kali will be full power. That will be very difficult situation for living entities. So sinful, so much suffering, everything. All living beings will be oppressed and tortured to the extreme. The plight of human beings will then be precarious. Then, you know, on Deepavali day, yesterday we observed, all maid servants in Jashoda's house, they were engaged for Deepavali and also preparing for this Indra Puja. So they were not there. Then Jashoda herself did that churning, and you know, then Krishna wanted to take milk from her breast and she gave, and then that milk was on the stove. Then she put down Krishna and took that boiling milk down. Then Krishna was angry. He broke all the pots and feeding monkeys. Then Jashoda wanted to chastise, and she caught him ultimately, but she did not want to beat him. Then she tied him. That happened on Dipavali, Damodar Lila. Then on today's day, all were busy for Indra Yagya for Indra. Then Krishna asked Nanda Maharaj, what is this? Then Nanda Maharaj explained, it is since the beginning of creation, from Rig Veda, it is there that one has to worship Indra, because he is presiding deity of clouds, and we are Vaishyas. We live by this cow, taking care of cow and selling products of cow milk and this thing. So for us, rain is very important, because grass is the food of cow. So every year we are doing this yagya to please Indra. Then he will send rain and we can get our livelihood. Then Krishna, that is his lila, he said, Indra is a demigod without any hold over fruits of actions. He cannot award bad fruit for a good action and good fruit for a bad action. Birth and death, happiness and affliction are due to the actions of the individual souls. Even worldly actions are the cause of enmity, friendship, and indifference. Indra cannot undo the fruits of actions. Although cultivation, trade, protection of cows, and money lending are the livelihood of the Vaishyas, the Brajavasis have only accepted protection of the cows as their principal means of livelihood. And also in Bhagavatam, Krishna said, and Indra, sometimes he's giving rain to the ocean also. There is no necessity of rain there. So what is the use to worship him? Then, yes, the residents of Brajadam live in the forests and mountains. Therefore, cities, crowded human habitation and houses are not good for them. Therefore, they should start an oblation function for the worship of the cows, brahmanas, and mountains. Just as an unchaste lady who leaves her husband cannot get actual welfare by serving another person, similarly, the Brajavasis cannot get actual welfare by serving others, leaving the service of Giriraj, Govardhan, who is their actual shelter. So, and Nanda Maharaj was having Vatsalya Prem to Krishna. So he was fully attracted, and then he said, yes, okay, we will worship Govardhan. Krishna explained, why Indra? We are dependent on Govardhan, and cows and this. We should worship them. Wife should serve her husband, not other person. So we are dependent on them, we have to worship them. And we are not for opulence, Indra, opulence, okay. We are forest people here. Then Krishna advised the milkmen of Brajadham to worship Giriraj Govardhan with all the articles collected for the Ingra Jag. He also advised them to bring milk, yogurt, and other milk products to cook different preparations of food, like payas, that is kheer, sweet rice, preparation of milk, rice, and sugar, that you have to offer to Govardhan. Mugda soup prepared from a kind of pigeon pea or pulse, that is dal, soup made of dal. Pishtaka and shashkuli, sweet preparations made of rice, coconut, sugar, and milk, some sweets there, and so many other items. Krishna also directed them in the method of worship of Giriraj Govardhan. It should be done by the ceremony of giving away cows, and offering honorarium to the Vedic Brahmanas who will perform the oblation, means yagya, have to give in charity. Brahmanas should be served with good preparations of food. After that, all others, including the chandalas, fallen persons and dogs, should be served with appropriate offerings. Cows should be served with fresh grass. After Govardhan Puja, everyone should be adorned with ornaments, good dresses, and anointments, and should sit down to honor prasad. Lastly, everyone should circumambulate Govardhan mountain with the cows, brahmanas, and the fire god. In our mat also on Govardhan Puja, after midday offering, we do parikrama around there and also serve the cows in our cow shed there in Mayapur. Being enchanted, yes, so then Nanda Maharaj worshipped Giriraj Govardhan and also serving the cows with grass and straw, and then they all performed parikrama of Govardhan with all gopas and gopis with the cows leading in front. While constantly singing the glories of Krishna, and to proclaim to the Brajabasis that Giriraj, Govardhan, is non-different from Krishna, Shri Krishna repeatedly and loudly uttered the words, I am the mountain Govardhan. And also he extended thousands of hands from Govardhan. They came thousands of hands and he was taking everything, all offerings. And then he says, Anyor means bring more. There is one place, if you do Govardhan Parikrama, Anyor means you bring more. He was accepting from Brajabasis because Govardhan is non-different from Krishna, is one with Krishna. And Krishna also, he introduced this worship of Govardhan, and he also made prostrated obeisance by his own example to Govardhan, and also he introduced this Govardhan Parikrama. And it is stated in Shastra, if someone will disrespect Govardhan, he will be killed by snakes there. One time, during the time of our Parangurdev, Brajamandal Parikrama, suddenly in our camp, when doing Parikrama, there was a big fire and many devotees were injured and there was disturbance and everything. Then that Giridhari Panda asked, he said to Parangurdev to ask everyone if anyone took Govardhan Shila from Govardhan without permission. Then Parangurdev asked, and some really did. Without permission they took. Then Giridhari Panda said, this is the offense. That is why this problem came. He got information directly from Govardhan. Then he took those Shilas and he took them back. So this fire, but if someone has some heavy disrespect, then he can be killed also. So Govardhan is not ordinary mountain you can enjoy. No, Govardhan is, we have to serve. We cannot step on him. Those who are Brajavasis, they can go for the service, but not others. Mahaprabhu also never went there. Also he told to Jagadana, don't go up on Govardhan. We are not eligible. Then, Indra became very angry. What one peasant, one farmer, cowherd boy, Krishna, he's stopping my yagya. He's so proud. And who he thinks he is. Then Indra became very angry and he ordered his all clouds, strongest clouds. You go and inundate the whole Brajadam. You flood everything. Destroy everything. Such rain should be there that you will destroy whole Brajadam and everyone. Then when that started, then Brajavasis were afraid and they took shelter of Krishna. Please rescue us. Then Krishna said, yes, I will lift Govardhan. You give me permission. Then they said, no, how we can give you permission? You are a small boy and your hand is so soft. How you will lift such a big mountain? How we can give you permission? Then Krishna said, you test me. You examine me. Then they showed one Kadamba tree with a big root there. Roots are very strong. Then they told him, can you rotate this tree? Then Krishna said, yes. Then he rotated that tree. Then they could not object. Then they said, okay. Then they dressed him as a wrestler and then Krishna lifted by his left hand finger on smallest finger on his nail there. He lifted up. Then Brajavasis, they never see Krishna as God. Even if he shows some uncommon opulence and power, they were astonished how he can lift this mountain, but still they were not thinking he's God. So cowherd boys and other Gopas, they put some sticks to support. If Krishna will not be able to hold, then they gave support. And Krishna was holding that Govardhan like an umbrella. So much rain was coming, but nothing was there. Krishna told you all come under Govardhan and you bring all cows and everything, all your property you bring, and they brought under Govardhan. And for 7 days, 7 nights, Krishna was holding that to fulfill the desire of Brajavasis. Because before Brajavasis, they had desire, we want to see Krishna always, not only for some time. Like when Krishna goes out to graze the cows, then Nanda, Jashoda, they cannot see him. When Krishna goes to Radhakunda, then cowherd boys cannot see him and cows. And when he goes back, then Radharani cannot see him. Like this. They had this, we want to always see him, not only for some time. So Krishna, to fulfill their desire, he lifted Govardhan and all Brajavasis, they were under, and Krishna is there and they were all looking at him uninterruptedly, all the time, full attention, and they were fully blissful because he's absolute bliss. And they forgot to eat, sleep, drink, nothing for 7 days. They did not, only looking Krishna and tasting Krishna. Then, after 7 days, all were looking, all rasas, Shanta, Dasya, Sakha, Vatsalya, Madhurja, all. Continuously, without interruption. Then, after 7 days, Indra came to see, and he was astonished, nothing is destroyed. What happened? Then he went to Brahma and he said, I went there to Vrindavan. There was one small boy, Krishna. He stopped my Indra Yagya, so proud. Then I wanted to punish him and all Brajavasis by flooding them. Then what happened? Then Brahma hold his head. Oh, Indra, you also did this same mistake. I also thought he is ordinary boy. He is not. By his grace I understood. He is Supreme Lord. You committed offense to him. Now immediately you should go there to beg forgiveness. But you should keep Surabhi cow in front of you, because Krishna loves cows. When he will see a cow, his heart will melt. At that time, you, behind that Surabhi cow, you come and you bow down to him and beg for forgiveness. Then Indra, then rain and everything stopped, and Krishna put Govardhan down. Then Indra came with Surabhi, and he bowed down to Krishna and was praying for forgiveness, and Krishna forgave him. And then Indra worshipped Krishna, also made Abhishek of him, and that Abhishek water, washing the lotus feet of Krishna, that became Govinda Kunda in Govardhan. Sometimes we start parikrama there, Govinda Kunda. It is the same place where Madhavendra Puri was sitting, chanting, we will hear. So, Raghunath Das Goswami, he wrote Govardhan Prarthana Dashakam. Today in the morning I was reciting 10 prayers to Govardhan. So one verse is there, verse 8. Giri Nripa Haridasa Shreni Varjeti Nama Mritamidamuditam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandra Brajanavatilakatve Kliptaveda Sputame Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatvam. It says, Raghunadas, O Giriraj Govardhan, when your nectarian name was uttered from the lotus lips of Srimati Radhika in Srimad Bhagavatam, Hantayam Adrir Abala Haridasa Varja, Radharani told to Sakis, O simple-hearted, innocent gopis, this mountain is foremost amongst all the servitors of Sri Hari. Radharani said, because he's providing all grasses and caves and everything. So he's servant, Haridasa Varja, the best servant. So when this was pronounced by Radharani, then you were consecrated by all the Vedas as the new beautiful tilak, sandal paste mark of Brajadham. I therefore pray to you to bestow me a dwelling place in your vicinity. Raghunath Das Goswami saying, if you read this song with the meaning also, then you can understand what is his vision of Govardhan. With this material eyes, we are not able to see. You can repeat, and also there is one Govardhan Ashtaka by Bishnu Chakravarti Thakur. I also recite it in the morning. You can sing in that melody, same as Navadip. And there also you see the meaning, then you can understand. So what is the meaning? Krishna stopped the worship of demigods and introduced worship of Krishna and Krishna Bhakta, because Govardhan is this tattva. He is Supreme Lord. Also, in another aspect, he is the best servitor of Krishna. So, worship of Krishna and the devotee, Krishna introduced and stopped demigod worship. And Govardhan also means, Vardhan means to enhance, and Go means senses. So, Govardhan Puja means to serve the transcendental senses, to enhance, to serve the transcendental senses, to satisfy Krishna and Krishna Bhakta, their transcendental senses. That is the meaning of Govardhan Puja. And so many items were offered by Brajavasis. That is why that festival is also called Onno Kut. Kut means pig, like Trikuta mountain, pig. So Onno means food. So everything was in hills of food. And that is why Annakut festival. And you know, in Kali Yuga, this was revived by Madhavendra Puri. He was doing bhajan in Govinda Kunda under a tree in Govardhan. Then his livelihood is such, he will not beg for anything. If someone will bring by his own accord, then he will take that, otherwise not. So he was chanting there because always he's tasting Krishna Prema. Then suddenly one small boy came there and he brought one pot of milk and said, Baba, you drink this milk. You did not take anything yet. I live in this village. In this village, if someone begs, he will get. If someone does not beg, then I bring. But no one is fasting in my village. So you take this milk. Then Madhavendra asked, how you know I did not take anything? They said, these ladies here, they are washing clothes and utensils in Govinda Kunda. They told me that Baba did not take anything. So I brought, because in my village, no one is fasting. Then Madhavendra Puri took that and he was attracted to that boy. Very beautiful and transcendental bliss he was getting. Then that boy said, you take this milk. Later I will come to take this lota, this pot. Then Madhavendra Puri was astonished, how beautiful and so blissful. And when tasting milk also, it was not ordinary. Then he was chanting, waiting for that boy to come back, but he did not come. Whole night he was chanting, then towards the morning he little slept. Then in dream, Krishna appeared there. I am Giridhari Gopal. I came. Actually, my deity was made by my great-grandfather, Vajranath. And I was on Govardhan, but Muslims, they were planning to attack, so Pujari hid me in some bush there under the ground. So you saved me. I was waiting for you when Madhavendra Puri will come. I'm feeling heat, summertime, and also cold during winter, and hungry and thirsty. I was waiting when Madhavendra Puri will come. Why? Because Krishna wants to get from devotee only. Then Madhavendra Puri woke up and he was regretting how I could not recognize. Krishna himself came. And this is also true. If someone is surrendered to Krishna, he will not fast. Krishna is maintainer, Krishna is protector. But we are afraid. We have no faith in Krishna, so not taking shelter. We have faith in others and ourselves, not in Krishna. But Madhavendra Puri is fully dedicated. So Krishna himself is bringing. Then he collected all the Brajavasis and told them Krishna appeared there. They went and they found. Then Madhavendra Puri installed him again on top of Govardhan and made a big abhishek and made one bed also for rest. Later on, temple was also made, and on that day also, after abhishek, all Brajavasis from that village, they heard Krishna appear, they all started to cook automatically. Because they have relation with Krishna, they start to cook a lot. So then there was this Annakut festival. So much rice, chapati, puri, sabji, dal, everything, sweets, milk, everything they brought, heaps of food. And there was a big feast. Madhavendra Puri saw how Krishna ate everything, again, he gave everything back as prasad. Only Madhavendra Puri with his spiritual devotional eyes could see how this happened. He did not take that prasad, he took only milk, because that was his diet prasad. Then that was going on for 2 years, every day, Annakut festival. Different villages, they were in Brajadham, they wanted to make this offering. So this is Annakut in Kali Yuga. And we are also trying to follow on this day to make some more cooking for the service of Krishna and his devotees. So I am going down to Giriraj, Govardhan. Praying for his causeless mercy. By some good fortune, we were there with Gurudev in Govardhan 2011, and we're staying there for like 3 weeks, just in front of Govardhan, where our Parangudev's museum is there. Daily you can see Govardhan, so really you feel his affection, and that like parental affection, giving shelter, giving everything, that shelter, affection like parental that you feel. Then after that we went some other place in Vrajadam, but when I was there, we for one program, one Harikatha, we had to go, but I was missing Govardhan. That affection was not there. I was hardly waiting when we will come back to Govardhan, back in his shelter. And you know, of course, Radha Kunda is there. You will find in Raghunath Das Goswami's song, he explained that Govardhan himself is watching Radha Krishna Lila in Radha Kund. He's attracted to those pastimes. He's also watching. So today I'm praying for the grace of Govardhan and also cows and Madhavendra Puri and all devotees. Many devotees, they are doing Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj's group. They are very particular about this. They are always staying there on this day, and they are bringing so many preparations from their mat to Govardhan in lines. Devotees, so many, they are directly there offering. And we are observing KARTIK VRATA, so at least something I will read of Upadesamrita. Yesterday we were hearing first verse, explanation by Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Thakur about controlling the speech, controlling the mind, and then body is of 3 varieties. It is, one second, let me find. Body, 3 types of urges of the body. The urge of the tongue wants to relish nice food, we heard yesterday. Then urge of the belly and urge of the genitals. So yesterday we were hearing about the urge of the tongue, how tongue wants to enjoy these 6 tastes. And even if it is prasad, if we are taking with enjoying spirit, that will also be counted as urge of the tongue. But if one honors prasad, those items which can be offered to Krishna, they are offered, and that prasad with honoring, then he can control the tongue. And next one is the urge of the belly. Most of the time accompanies the urge of the tongue. And those who are engrossed in the belly and the genitals most of the time become sickly. They become sick. Means if you eat too much, if your tongue wants to enjoy, then you will eat too much. When you will eat too much, your genitals will be excited and also you will become sick. When we eat too much, various types of worldly problems arise. Those who eat excessively are slaves of the urge of the belly. By honoring Krishna's prasadam, following Ekadashi and other rites related to Krishna, and developing the propensity to serve Krishna, the urge of the belly is controlled. So appropriately, we have to honor prasad and that which is given by Krishna to us. Like you see Madhavendra Puri, there was a big feast there, but he took that which Krishna wants him to take. That is Krishna's prasad. Otherwise, if you with enjoying, because this is one line, tongue, belly, and genitals. So if you cannot control the tongue, then you cannot control them, and that will be detrimental for your devotion. Even worldly problems you will get, sickness and all this. So tomorrow we will further hear about the urge of the genitals.